Hi Aries, thank you for joining me for your April general read. Please remember that this is general, so it's not going to resonate for everyone, and that includes cross watchers. Please switch the energies around if it applies, but never try and force a timeline to fit. If it's not your story this time, then it's okay to just leave it. It's not going to resonate for everyone. You take the parts that are resonating for you and you leave the bits that don't. Because it's a general read, you'll find that the bits that are not resonating for you are actually part of someone else's timeline. Okay. Right, so let's get into this for you then, Aries. My table theme this month is to celebrate World Earth Day, which is on April the 22nd. It's Aries, please. And please be patient as well while I get your tarot out. It's tarot, it takes time. Aries, please, for April. Guidance for Aries, please. Guidance for Aries, please. Okay, well, your energy is hidden underneath that one. So the star signs that we see, we've got Aries, right, so we've got water, earth, moon in Taurus, sun in Capricorn, we've got air, we've got Venus in Virgo, Venus in Scorpio as well. Okay. Right, so the zodiacs are just an extra snippet of information for those who like to hear the zodiacs that have shown up in their read. Okay, it's probably, it may or may not be useful, basically. Okay, the first message here that's coming out for you, Aries, for those of you who are separated from a mother or a mothering energy, and those of you who have been in conflict with this mother energy, they're going to try and reconcile. So that's your first message here that's coming out. For others of you where this does not pertain to a mother energy, I'm seeing here that a trust has been broken. Someone has broken your trust. They also took your love for granted. There has been a fallout with this particular individual, and they are wanting to reconcile with you now. They're coming in with a promise of stability and equality. They're coming in quite fast, and it's going to be very, very confusing for you because in the past they were holding back. They weren't giving you their all. They weren't really partaking in the relationship. So some of you have been dealing with a selfish mother, one who they were just take, a little bit narcissistic as well. And for others of you, this does pertain to a romantic connection. Right, I see what's going on here. This individual from your past they're coming in towards you as a different individual. Now, they have made changes to themselves. However, you are going to have to be the judgment as to whether or not they've changed enough for you. Because I'm seeing quite clearly here in the past that this was a very selfish individual. The choice that you're going to be left with is basically whether or not they can be trusted with being given another chance. And for those of you where this does pertain to a romantic connection, you'll be confused, because if you've been single, then some of you have actually been happier single. So you're going to be weighing up your options as to whether or not you should remain single. I see that a lot of you have got a lot of options as well. A lot of options. Some of you might have been partaking in playing the field here a bit, and you're now considering on settling. There's an earth sign here that has caught somebody's eye and has made you really consider the possibility of actually settling down. But some of you struggle here with emotions, and that's why you tend to really keep a lot of your emotions up your sleeve. I'm feeling that some of you might have heavy earth in your chart. There's a very once bitten, twice shy energy in this read, Aries. This is definitely someone from your past. Yeah, you're very slow to trust, you're very slow to love, but this individual, they've made you look at things in a new light. They've probably even, some of you have made a promise to yourself that you'd never marry, you'd never settle, you'd never have kids, you'd never be a housewife or a house husband or whatever. You never imagined yourself in that kind of dynamic. And this particular individual has made you question all of that, because all of a sudden you're catching yourself thinking about domestic life and what that would look like for you. It's a very strange energy. It's like some of you've tried to keep this individual at an arm's length, but it feels like you're fighting a losing battle. Because the more that you try to remain single and tell yourself that you're having fun being single and you don't need a commitment, it's like the longer that you try and fight those feelings, the stronger the urge to settle with this particular individual comes in. It's like you're fighting yourself here. In your guidance, we've got the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Four of Swords with the Magician. Right. Some of you who are dealing with the narcissistic mother energy, you are being asked here to take action on that one, and to basically, if you can go no contact, that's probably the best course of action. And if you can't go no contact, then it's certainly asking you here to reaffirm your boundaries with the Queen of Swords, and to not take any shit off this individual. It doesn't matter who this individual is. nobody has got the right to treat you like an emotional punch bag, which I can see for those of you who have been dealing with that specific storyline. You have been treated really, really badly. It's almost like that individual was just unloading all of their crap onto you and expecting you to sit there and just take it as well. So your guidance is to preferably no contact, but if that's not possible, then definitely reaffirm your boundaries. And the Queen of Swords, don't take any crap off this individual, and to not be scared to take action against this particular individual as well. And for others of you where this is a romantic connection, you're being asked here to find the confidence within yourself to get what you need out of life. I'm picking up here on a lot of inner work as well. There's your guidance is to reevaluate your needs and your wants, and reevaluate if your current course of action is the best for you. There's something here about taking a pause on your action, and not acting in haste. So that there's something here that still you need to sit in your thoughts with before you can take action. And it's backed up here with the Page of Swords and the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is a card of non-action. It's a card of meditate, reevaluate, readjust also. So you're being asked here to watch the situation closely and to readjust where necessary. And then the Magician. The Magician doesn't chase, but rather they pull in. And they're also very clever with how they use information as well. Because the Magician, yes, it is about manifesting things, but it's also about remaining flexible, and it pertains to communication. So there's more information here that's coming in. You can gain more information by controlling your urge to act too quickly, and then you can use that information to your advantage. It's a very, very strange read, this one. I'm feeling very much like not all is how it seems at the moment, Aries. It really isn't. For some of you, you feel that this individual that wants to reconcile with you, they're still holding back secrets. They're still not being completely truthful about their true intent, or they still haven't actually done the inner work that they needed, and they're putting on this act as if they have. It's like they're giving you a little bit of what you want to see in the hope that it'll be enough. Aries, please. Okay. Wedding rings, photograph, and I like you. Right, the first message that's coming out with this particular combination, Aries, is somebody had been flirting with you, and you've seen online that they were actually married. And for others of you, someone is feeling very, very passionate towards you, and they feel this really strong soulmate connection to you. And they're literally reminiscing, nostalgia. We've got nostalgia here twice, the Six of Cups and the photograph card. I'm feeling strongly that an individual has got pictures of you and they're looking and feeling really nostalgic. They haven't told you yet. Someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting and wanting to date. For some of you, this pertains to a secret admirer who is watching you from afar. And they have ideas on settling down with you. There's definitely an inner conflict, Aries, that I was picking up on at the start of your read, because a lot of you, that whole domestic scene didn't really appeal to you until you met this particular individual. Aries, please. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Judgment. Yeah, you're going to have to trust your best judgment. Again, see, there's two storylines that's running here. You're going to have to trust your best judgment on whether or not settling down really is your scene. And I'm talking in your heart and in your soul, because this particular individual that's looking at you, Aries, they're not playing around. They are deadly, deadly serious. Okay, so if your heart and soul is not in it 100%, then you have to be honest about that. And for those of you where this pertains to that mother figure, that selfish mother figure, again, use your best judgment and try and cut that if possible, or find the strength to reaffirm your boundaries where that individual is concerned, because they're too interfering here. They've interfered too much in your life in the past, and chances are running high that they could interfere again in your romantic life, which obviously you really don't want that. That's never ever acceptable. So you are going to have to judge that person accordingly and deal with it accordingly as well. I know it's very, very hard, very difficult, especially if that is your mother. But nobody has the right to interfere in your life, whether they're related to you or not. They simply do not have that right. The door, opportunities, curiosity and action. The horseshoe, good luck, peace and contentment. The feather, freedom, changes, relaxation. And the lady, strength, dignity and patience. So new doors are opening up for you here and brand new possibilities. I'm feeling serendipitous events are happening. It's going to lead to your absolute peace. It's going to lead to your fulfillment. However, there are changes that need to be made, and you're going to have to remain strong, dignified and patient to enact on these changes needed. Now, some of you have been in your thoughts about making those changes, but again, it's being able to take that action. And we did see in your guidance that that there was a need to refrain from taking action too soon, because there's still that inner work there that's needing done, and the trust still needs to be built as well. Aries, please. Okay. It's It's not as if you need anyone. For as long as you wish to keep them in your life, whoever they may be, understanding them as opposed to changing them will wildly improve the chances that they'll wish to keep you in their life. On the other hand, you're pretty much stuck with me. Oh wow, how I love you, the universe. It's not as if you need anyone. Yeah, you're very, very independent sign. For some of you, you feel that a relationship could potentially hold you back as well. Intuition. Simple, complex words of pain or words that heal. You come to know truth by the way that it feels. So if you feel that someone's lying to you, then they are. Self-confidence, strong self-belief and a sense of worth. And Trinket 5, manifesting money and income. Trusting your intuition and having the self-confidence to know that you're correct. Right, I'll pull you a positive affirmations. Aries, please. Okay. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. For some of you, you have been battling with depression. Because undesirables have been putting thoughts in your head. Always remember that the way that others treat you is a projection of who they really are and is not a reflection of who you are, not even remotely. Some of you are building up on your self-confidence again, learning on trusting your own intuition. And again, I'm feeling strongly that that interfering mother or mother figure has a huge part to play in your low self-esteem. Okay, so for those who are easily offended at swearing, then your read has ended now. Thank you very much for watching. And for those who don't give a shit, then this is the Rebel deck. It's very blunt and very to the point. Aries, please. And please bear in mind as well that all oracle cards work in exactly the same way as the tarot, where it is for the viewer to decide what side of the table they're sitting at for every single card that comes out, okay? All the energies are interchangeable. Right, we have stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. Stop talking, shut your mouth and listen. And winning. You've got a good thing going, don't ruin that shit. Yeah, right. Aries, whoever that interfering... Sorry about the interruption, Aries. My camera has been playing up. For some reason, it just stops recording after a certain amount of time. I don't know why. Whoever that interfering individual is that keeps putting doubts in your head and is really negative towards you all the time, they need cut out as soon as possible, because potentially that interference could well ruin your future relationships. And this particular relationship that I'm seeing in your read is actually a really good relationship for you. It's just that interference that's knocking your self-confidence, because they're putting doubts in your head. They're changing the way that you view the world. They're changing the way that you think. and feel about yourself, which in turn is going to have a knock-on effect, and in fact it could possibly destroy this this relationship, this romantic relationship that I'm picking up in your read. It can potentially ruin that. So that interfering individual needs to go. They are the reason why you felt that you could never settle down with anyone. So, I mean, there's an amazing connection here in your tarot, but there's one negative individual that can potentially ruin that for you if they're not dealt with, okay? And of course, you have to trust your best judgment as well, always. Okay, so Aries, that is what I have for you. Please get in touch if that resonated for you, because I don't know what it is that I'm reading. I just have to trust my cards and the other messages as and when they come in. I do read all of your comments. I might not be able to reply to them all, but I absolutely do read them all and appreciate every interaction on my channel. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, then that information can be found in my pinned comments below. So thanks again, Aries. Happy birthday as well. Take care for now, and we'll speak again soon. Bye.